The other leg.
It's all right, let's do it.
Okay. Welcome back, you guys.
Hey, girl, how are you?
Doing good. This is my home girl, you guys. For those of you who haven't watched the first video.
So people say, I can't get up. You're right. But once you start getting up and doing it, you have so much more energy. You know, you have 24 hours in a day. That's a long time. There's so much you can do with that time. You know, and people are watching Housewives and they make time for all of these things, Netflixing and chilling.
Yes.
Like work out and then chill. Like stop Netflixing, you know?
Yes. Kua and she is my gym sister. Kua, I want you to introduce yourself and tell people what you do.
Tell the people who I am?
Yes, who you are, yes.
Oh, thank you. So my name is Akua, like she said. I am the owner and the master trainer for Body by Akua Fitness. And basically what I do is I customize workouts for individuals as well as do group boot camp training style. I also do nutritional counseling, and I also own another business called Treat You Right Foods, where we make healthy snacks to keep that body right.
Good too. You know what, I was going to ask you, do you have any snacks today?
No, I didn't bring any, so I'm not really one. Yeah, last time I had snacks, so this time I'll bring some. Yeah, I'm gonna show you. We'll do a little something basic that you can do at home.
Yes.
Just basic dumbbells, body weight, simple stuff.
Let's get into it.
Okay, all right. Add it up. Okay, all right. Add it up. Add it up.
Concentration.
She gave you this beautiful gift.
Yes, Body by Akua Fitness. Yes.
If you guys don't know, where can we find you?
I'm basically on Instagram is at Body by Akua Fitness. On Facebook is Body by Akua Fitness, or my full name Akua Anthony Boachi, and then my website www.bodybyakuafitness.com.
Yes. I haven't seen too many people in the gym go in. Like,
That's right. That's right.
looking at you like, who is this woman? You just
Doing my thing, doing crazy stuff. Yes. That'll make it fun. The last time we shot, I was in a classroom as a teacher. That was about 2.5 years ago. So I've transitioned now into a different role. So I have that along with my business, the baby. Well, she's almost 9.
Yes.
The husband, the whole 9.
Yes. It's amazing when I watch you do so much and then you still have the time to take care of yourself. So what is the top thing that you keep in mind whenever you're trying to juggle everything and still incorporate fitness?
I think that, and I mentioned this to you before when we spoke last time, I think the main thing that I always go back to is taking care of yourself first. Because as you know, there's a lot of things on our plates as women, we're moms, wives, we're working, we're doing all of these things, running businesses, but you have to make time for yourself. Because if you're not well, you can't give anything to anybody else. So I make sure I schedule time for myself, and that time normally is at the gym. You know, most people schedule a spa day or whatever. I do that once in a while, but my time to myself is really just in the morning when I work out. It's essential. It makes everything else better. Yeah. Everything else is better.
You have a lot on your plate. What do you say to those moms who want to work out, feel like their schedules are very busy and they can't dedicate their time to this?
Yeah.
What do you say to those moms?
I'll say, and then I completely respect that, and I know that moms can be very busy. I am busy. But I think it goes back to priorities, right? You have to really, it's management. Running your household, running your life is like a business. Yeah. You know, we go to work, our bosses or whoever's in charge gives us what to do. We find a way to get it done. It's the same thing. You have to manage your life that way. So I understand the moms are very busy, but I think the one thing that we need to really focus on is prioritizing what is important to us. Even if it's 15 minutes to yourself, you know, you might not find the time to go to a gym to work out, but you don't need to do that. You can work out at home. You know, you can get up early in the morning and do some planks. You know, just fit it in when you can. That's the only way you can really start to see those little results. It's not a big deal to, well, you don't have to get up and go to a gym, work out, and then go home to get ready. You can work out at home.
After giving birth, literally you're in the house and you're taking care of an infant, and not being able to be active and get out and just do something. It made things worse.
Exactly. And if you're not careful, you know, especially with you women out there, you know, when you first have a baby, first of all, you have to give yourself time, right? But understand that, you know, those things that you used to do, you'll eventually get back. It just takes time. But if you're a person like you, me, we're used to constantly going, it's very difficult. And if you're not careful, you can fall into that deep depression. You know, this is very real, postpartum depression and so forth. I went through it when I had my daughter. But the thing is, you do get over it. You just have to kind of take the time and be kind to yourself that you see out there. That's one thing I loved about your journey.
Girl.
You know, when you were coming up, after you had your baby, I remember just watching some of the things that you were posting. You were very real about what was going on and getting back in the right way. It's very important. And I think as women, we don't do each other justice sometimes when we have this pressure on each other to get back, snap back, get this, you know. Give people time.
Absolutely. What tips do you have for people who are traveling in fitness, and how do they just make sure that they maintain their nutrition and fitness regimen?
I think that, especially when it comes to nutrition, I'm a big proponent of meal prep. Always having something on the go, right? Because obviously if you don't have something with you and you get hungry, you're going to pick up whatever is available.
Yes.
So if you have healthy options on hand already, you're going to eat those things. So always having something healthy, maybe a protein bar, a shake, something that you can have on the road. So that's important if you're traveling. And then as far as fitness, you have to make fitness fun. It doesn't always have to be with heavy equipment, and there's so many exercises that you can do just standing in your hotel room. You know, if you're working in an office, you can do some leg raises. There's so many things, you just have to dedicate the time to do it. I think the misconception is that you have to make it a big deal. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't. So, you know, my advice to those who are traveling, just find a hotel that might have a gym and incorporate that workout, or work out in your room. There's so many videos out there that people post. I know you posted at-home workouts. I have an at-home workout. We all have these things that we've seen. Incorporate some of them.
Well, one thing that Ralph and I do, we stop at Walmart and we find the nearest like grocery store. And if we have it, because some of them don't have a stove. So if they have a microwave, we'll look for like little quick things like little chicken in the bag, the pre-cooked chicken in the bag.
Take the skin off.
Salad.
That's it.
We'll put on a little dressing. It's not organic, because I always preach organic, but sometimes you just gotta do what you
Exactly. If you're not in a location that has the organic or what you're looking for, it's not ideal, but it's better than none.
Yes.
It's better than cookies.
Yes.
Soda.
Yes. Making sure that fitness is a priority. For those of you who say that it's hard, it is hard. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that's something that's easy. It's not. But those who are willing to make the sacrifice, because there's something that's much more greater than just the aesthetics or the physical appearance of fitness. It's mental, it's spiritual, it's just so much that's embodied in fitness that's necessary just for that individual. Like one person asked me, because I gave birth to age C-section, they said, well, how is it that you don't have a pooch? And I said, well, you know what, truthfully, I made sure that fitness was a priority before.
We saw that.
After giving birth and during giving birth.
That's right.
So while I was pregnant, I was working out, but I wasn't focusing on just losing weight. I was focusing on keeping my mental.
That's right, because that's your sanity.
Yes.
That's important. I think that's very good that you said that, because people really, I think a lot of times only look at fitness from that physical aspect, the aesthetic, right? You look good and then that's it. I know people who work out, not necessarily to lose weight, because they don't need to lose weight. They're, I'm at a point now in my life where I'm fine with how I look. I don't want to lose any weight. I go through different stages where I might want to tone a little bit, I might bulk, whatever the case is, but most of the time it's really for my mental. This is my therapy. I need it every single day, some form of movement, some kind of exercise in order to be sane. So I think when we switch the mindset from the aesthetics and start looking at all the other benefits, the aesthetic is just one aspect. It looks good, but that's what people see.
Yes.
So that's what they want. But
It's cherry on top.
It's a cherry on top, really. That's just a bonus. Everything else is really more important. I'd rather have good health within than to look good outside but not have good health within.
There's no amount of surgery that can replace that. I know some people, if you have a medical issue and you need to get surgery, that's one thing, but sometimes we try to find something, and in that we just give up and say, you know what, let's just get the surgery, I'm going to be a happier person. But if it's more so mental, because once you get that surgery done, then you're looking at your body like, oh, I can get this else, I need to lift this, or I need to tuck this. It's going to be a constant just chase of something.
Yes.
When everything that we're chasing is more so, it comes from the mental aspect.
It's
of
internal.
working out. Yes,
Absolutely.
It's really internal. What do you think about the waist trainers, the fat burners, the smoothie, eat smoothie all day?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. One thing that people have to realize is that all of these things are all marketing tools, right?
Oh, yes.
We live in a society where people will market anything. Somebody could take snow from outside and put it in a jar and go like this and say, I ate it and I look like this, and people will buy it. You're not buying the snow. Snow's not going to help you. It's an analogy, right? But you'll buy it because of the way it's marketed.
Yes.
You have to apply that to a lot of these things, these waist trainers and the tees and all of these gimmicks that are out there. Most of it is there as a moneymaker. And think about those are the people who are promoting it. They're getting paid a lot of money to say they used it. Some of them did not. And a lot of it doesn't work. There are only two sure things that I know for a fact that works. It's diet and nutrition and fitness. You have to move your body and you have to eat properly. Those are the only sure things that are guaranteed to work for the long term. You put on a waist trainer or a sweat belt or whatever, and I have a sweat belt. I wear it because now it's cold. It keeps me warm,
yes.
And it helps with my back support when I'm doing certain things. But I don't look at that as the end all be all.
Yes.
That little bit of sweat might make you feel good, but that's not weight loss. You're losing water.
Just water, yeah.
Exactly, which is fine for a temporary thing. You're just trying to snatch up a little bit, but it's not forever. The same thing with the tea. I really don't even understand the concept of the teas. Because initially I thought it was just like regular green tea.
Me too.
And I was like, green tea is good for you. It's good for your metabolism. It helps you burn fat. And I was like, oh no, it's not. It has some other stuff in it, I guess, supposed to make you, go. And then I said, yeah, but that's not, again, it's water weight.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful what you're putting in your body. I'm not a fan of it. I don't advocate for it. I get a lot of people in my inbox asking me to promote. I'm sure you do too.
Yes.
I'm not doing it. I don't care how much money they offer. I'm not doing it because it goes against my brand. It goes against what I believe. And I truly believe the only two things that work is to eat better, nutrition, and to move your body to fitness. That's the only two combos.
People in the fitness industry has a responsibility to tell those the truth. And I understand sometimes the audience don't want the truth. Sometimes the audience, they want a quick fix. And some people in the industry use that to their advantage and sell you exactly what you want. Even if they know that that's not going to be a priority to you and they know that you're not going to look like them, they're still going to sell you a quick fix just because you think that that's something that's going to work. And I don't agree with that whole notion. My personal opinion about waist trainers, I don't think, just like you, I don't think that it's going to be an all-be-all relationship. I don't think that waist trainers are to replace diet and nutrition and fitness. I don't think that. But I do believe that those people who suffer with, diabetes recti, that could be a benefit. If you're dropping water weight, something that's temporary, you need to drop some water weight for a wedding, awesome. I could say one thing, after giving birth, the waist trainers, I learned the benefits of the waist trainers after giving birth. But to replace that with, again, diet, nutrition, it's not realistic.
And I think if it was, sorry to cut you off, if it was marketed the way you just said, and it was more realistic, it might not sell as much, but at least people would know.
Yes.
Because it does have some benefits, right?
Yes,
Like you said, you're trying to just drop some water weight, right after giving birth, just to get, because I mean, culturally, I'm from Ghana, where after you give birth, we do mind. We do that because it is a way to get you back to, not necessarily to get you abs. Nobody's looking for abs after birth, right?
No.
But it's, a lot of things that have been moved around, just a way to kind of keep things back intact. So it has some benefits, but I think it needs to be marketed in those exact ways. But to let somebody think or to lead someone to believe that this is a replacement for diet and fitness, that's not it. And that's a shameful plug. I think we should really stop. And I think the discipline also that you have in fitness translates to so many other aspects of your life, right? So just being able to get up and dedicate in 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever amount of time that you have, just being able to get up on a consistent basis and dedicate that every day, that in itself gives you confidence in other aspects of your life, right? So it translates. Again, it's not just the physical, just the discipline to do it becomes discipline, or it translates to other parts of your life. You're more disciplined at work, you're more disciplined in your relationships, you're raising your children. It really does translate. So it's not just to look good, it's to feel good, and it's to get the confidence to do other things as well.